In the previous video, we talked about CoreData and we started by implementing save and a display functions. So in this video, we want to create a function that is going to allow us to clear our data or to even delete some parts of our data. Now, as usual, we'll have to start with a context and we will have to have a request for this. So I might as well just copy the first two lines from the display function. Now I created my context. I need to just loop over my objects and delete whatever object I want to delete. So let me just write a for loop that is going to delete everything, and then I will show you how we can customize that for loop to delete specific items in my data. So to delete, we'll do the following. We'll say if let result is equal to, we want to try to get to fetch everything from our context. So try context dot fetch, and then we'll have to supply with a request. We already created a request, so it is going to be the request that we just created. And then in here, so if I'm able to fetch data from my request, I want to go ahead and delete everything. So I will say for str. I know it's an object, but we started with str, so we'll keep str. So I'll say for str in my result, I need to go ahead and delete those, but I need to first supply it as a managed object. So I will say as an array of managed objects. So it is going to be ns managed object, and then I can loop over them. So I will come right here and I will say context dot delete, and what's my object name? It's called str. So let me run it like this. It's missing a line, not just a line, couple lines, but let me run it like this and show you what's missing and what's going to happen when we don't add that. So if I display, I have my names here. If I clear and then hit display again, I don't have anything. So if I say anything like, let's say Larry, save display, I have Larry. Now let me close this and let me run it back again, and let me display. So let me clear and let me go back and run it. So I should have nothing because I cleared Larry. Display, I still have Larry. If I save anything else, let me say Mark. Again, I don't know what do I have with those names. So display, I have Larry and Mark. Clear and then close and then run back again. I still have them. Why is that? The first time when I click the save, after I clear, it saved it. But now if I clear and don't save anything, it's not going to clear my menu for the next run. It's going to clear for the first run, but it's not going to clear my data for the next run, because I need to save as well right here. When I clear, so I did a change in my core data, I need to go ahead and save that change. So I can just come right here and copy this save part and go right here when I'm done. So after this, before I finish everything, I'll just go and say save, and I will say something like list cleared, and let me close, run. Now if I display, I have those guys, list cleared. Now if I just close this, run it back again, display, I have nothing to display. So this part is essential because you want to save anything after you do any change in your core data. Now this is going to delete everything in my core data. But now let me just add some names and then try to take them out. So John, save it, Bob, and then save it, and let me have Larry, and save, and then display. So I have John, Bob, and Larry. I want to delete Bob. If I click clear, it's going to delete everything. So I can go ahead here and see where I'm deleting. I'm deleting right here. So I want to do something. I will say if the object has the string that's called Bob in its key, then just delete that object. So I'll come here and write an if statement. So I'll say if str dot value for key, and the key is name. So if I go ahead and say it is going to be equal to a string called Bob, it is going to give me an error right away. And you will see the error pop up in a moment. If I just try to save this, it is going to give me an error. Now the error is not just due to the missed curly bracket. It's doing with this because this is not a string right now, and this is a string. And if I click on this, it is going to say you cannot compare those two. So what I need to do is I need to supply this part as a string. So I'll say as string, and then delete str. str is our object. So let me save this and let me go ahead and do it right here. So let me display. I have John, Bob, and Larry. So if I click clear right now, clear is set to delete Bob only. And I still have list cleared because I didn't change that, but now look at this. I have John and Larry. I deleted Bob. Now a couple more things I wanted to mention. This doesn't have to be hard-coded. I can go ahead and have a text box here to delete, and I can just put whatever I get in that text box in here. And then you see me deleting everything in the text field or the text box. You can just come here, and there is a nice feature here. See this clear button? You can just do this, appear while editing, or choose any option. Now if I save it, I just made my app a little bit more user-friendly. So now if I try to type anything, see I got this X here, I can just exit and delete anything. And if you're curious, if I display Bob is not here anymore. Now if I do clear, it is going to say list clear because it didn't have any error, but if I display, it's only having John and Larry. And as I said, you can have another text box right here that is going to delete it, or you can have them displayed in a table view, and then if you delete, if you like swipe left and then you click the delete, you include the code in that method to be able to delete that thing as well.